Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning into my channel called Take Heed to the Message with Abang Anwa. All right. So we about to get into it. And Abang Anwa just means queen baby. That's all it means. So we about to break something down. Shout out to Richie Mack. You feel me? Shout out to this brother for pushing out all this content from Thailand. So we about to dissect something that he had did a whole show on, and I just want to share with you some things that um, I think as women we need to do better. You feel me? We need to do better. So the title of this foolery is Women are delusional. Yes, we are delusional. The older we get, we are so delusional. And I want to break down just a little something something and then I'm going to let y'all know, put my little 2 cent in everything. Y'all know how we do. So, shout out to Gail at Night. Yes, one of the powerhouses moderators. I appreciate this content today. And once again, shout out to Richie Mack as well. So we about to break it down. Now, y'all know how we do. We not going here. We not going to see anything. We just going to listen to the audio. And every bit and piece we going to break down. All right? That's how we do. Y'all know how we do. Don't act indignant. Y'all know how we do. So here we go.
The owner of the company. I'm 25 now and I'm having a quarter life crisis.
I absolutely know that me having a relationship, that part of my life is over. If you're single, independent, and you love how you live it, throw your hands up. Single lady. If you're not trying to be the wife, you just want it for one night, throw your hands up.
Single lady. No pressure, having a good time. If you fit the bill tonight, you could be mine. I'm a lady and it's crazy, put it on the line. I decide who I let in this heart of
If you're single,
mine.
independent, and you love how you live it, throw your hands up.
Single lady.
If you're not trying to be the wife, you just want it for one night, throw your hands up.
Single lady.
If you're not asking for a thing, cause you got your own change, throw your hands up.
Single lady.
Throw your hands up.
Single lady.
Throw your hands up.
Single.
Why that beat hot like that? But it's terrible because all the women up here dancing, they acting a fool. Don't forget, y'all, I shared this video, Richie Mack video, in our community tab. I shared it on all our social media platforms so you can actually see the video for yourself. But we just gonna hear it and dissect it. So here we go, y'all.
My mother had my brother when she was 14 years old. My ex-wife's parents divorced when she was 14 years old. Now here I am, a single father of two beautiful daughters, and my oldest is 14 years old. So I'm literally trying to make sense of the relationships between men and women on my own. I asked myself, what did I do wrong in my past, and how do I make it better for my daughters? I didn't have any sisters, and my mother's passed away. Why some women are still single fascinates me. So after over 100 interviews, I documented 11 different women for 1 year. I wanted to find out.
Why am I?
He said over 100 documentaries, right? 100 videos. Woo, that's a lot. A lot of women that are delusional. Here we go, y'all.
Still single. I've gone through this whole process kicking and screaming because I really had to look at why I am still single. And I know we can say, well, the guys aren't here or this or that. It really just boils down to me.
Why am I still single? Part of it is that I've elected to be single. I like my own time, my own space.
She said, I elected to be single. The first woman, she looked like she in her 60s, and she said, why she's still single. Ooh, the second woman is 30 years old, y'all.
I consider it to be very valuable, and I've been raised by a single mom who's done everything, and what do you need a man for?
What you need a man for?
Why do I think I'm still single? That is a good damn question. I can't for the life of me figure out.
Okay, this is the one that's talking right now. She's the one who says she want a man that's sterile. And she's 28 years old and she got 3 children, y'all. Let's hear what she say.
I haven't booed up with nobody and became official. It boggles my mind every day I wake up. How could you let all this go? Like, I don't understand. I think I'm a damn good catch.
What are some of the qualities?
She said, how do you let all this go? Woo, we are so delusional. Women, we delusional. You got 3 kids and you're 28. Mm-hmm.
That you have?
The qualities that I have, I love animals. I love people. I'm very generous and giving. I'm a very good mother. I have very good social skills. I'm intelligent. And I'm pretty to look at. So,
I don't really get that pressure that usually Latinas get to get married and have kids. I actually get more pressure from my friends. It's very common for Mexicans to have kids at a young age. So I have friends telling me, se te va a ir el tren, meaning like you're...
So this young one, she's a Mexican woman, and she has like dark history. So I can understand why she has a fear towards men. Okay, we gonna get to that part.
It's gonna go away. Like, what are you waiting for? Have your kids, get married. And I'm like,
I think I'm still single because I haven't been lucky enough to meet the right guy at the...
Okay, this one that's talking, she says that she's very delusional. She doesn't even tell her age, but she looked like she in her late 50s. Okay, y'all. And she's one of us. She's a millennial sister. So you got to hear some of the nonsense that she preach. I think she far gone. She far gone into the matrix. Okay, she's far gone into the matrix. It's terrible, y'all. I kid you not.
I have no trouble meeting men, but to have the perfect intersection of the guy and the right timing and everything else, it's not work for me. But I'm a really successful dater.
I think I'm still single for a lot of different reasons. One is...
Okay, this one is 39. She got 2 children. Okay, she's a doctor. All right. And she has a dark past too. Okay. Of physical abuse. Okay. And she's still single as well. But we about to go into it. Let's hear what she said.
Kind of hard to invest the time right now in getting to know someone in a relationship. I don't think that I can't get a boyfriend or someone interested. It's just my situation at this time. I'm a single mother. They don't have a father. So if there's something that happened with my girls, they're still small, I may have to cancel. If I have an overnight call after I work the whole day, like tonight, I have a call. That's the weekend.
So do you have a bad picker?
I certainly have a bad picker since I'm single. And a part of me being a Jew and being Israeli.
Okay, this one is 25 years old. And Richie Mack asked her, are you a bad picker? And she said, I certainly am a bad picker. All right, so we about to get into it. Now, y'all know we some bad pickers. Some of us that have not been groomed under kings, we are bad pickers. All right, let's get into it.
And knowing that I probably am a best match for a nice Jewish boy, whatever that means, my picker just...
I knew that I didn't want to be a single parent. I knew that.
Okay, this one, she's very delusional. Okay, y'all. And she looked like she's about in her 50s. Okay. And she's plus size. She's a brick house, real brick house. Okay, y'all. And well, y'all know I'm a plus size woman too. All right. So I'm not throwing no shade. I'm just, stating the facts. Let's go into it, y'all.
I wanted to give my child every advantage. And one of the big advantages is coming from a 2-parent household. So, because I didn't want to have children out of wedlock, I begged God, please God, send me a husband. I want a husband so I can start a family, have some kids. So from the age of 23 to 40.
I always look at them strange when they say, I beg God. I beg God. Yeah, but you didn't do the work, though. You didn't do the work. You can beg God all you want, but if you don't do the work, you have a problem. This is why I tell y'all all the time, ask God to clean out everything within you that is not right for marriage. All right, let's go into it, y'all.
3. I beg God, please God, send me a husband. Please God, please God. And after 20 years, I realized that God's answers to me was no. So from the age of 43 to 44, I was devastated. Just devastated. I was sad all the time. I would see couples and feel just heart-wrenching pain that would never be me.
I planned it out that nothing would work. I picked the wrong men. I picked many men as I look back, and it's like they're different names and different faces, but they were all really basically the same guy.
She's right. This happens a lot. They may look different, but they act the same. It's because we attract those type of men to us. That means you didn't do the work inside. You understand? That's why I tell you, you got to ask God to clean out everything that is not right in you. Okay? Everything that is not right in you for marriage. And if you don't do the work, I don't care how much you pray to God, it ain't going to work. Okay? You're going to keep getting pumped and dumped. I tell y'all that all the time. So we about to go into it again.
My perfect man would be a tall black stallion. He loves to cook because I'm not really a good cook.
Here
so
she
that's
go.
his thing.
I'm not a good cook.
He loves driving. He loves driving the kids to school in the morning. He's just really, really hands-on. With my kids. He's sterile because he can't have kids of his own. So he really.
Y'all heard me. Y'all heard it right. Y'all heard it right. I say y'all heard me, but y'all know what I mean. Y'all heard it right. She said he's sterile. So he's going to have a good relationship with my kids. Woo, shaking my head. Shaking my head. Lord, all this delusion is flying around, baby.
Cherishes mine. He's funny. We do movie quotes all the time. Every time we go around, we just laugh and do karaoke. He's smart. He is very good with the money. He takes care of all that, and he just lets me, make the beds and just do me.
Okay, let me make sure I got.
She says she just want to make the beds, and he lets her do her. Lord, the delusion, honey. The delusion, I don't understand it. Okay, here come Richie Mack coming in with his dissection. Here we go, y'all.
That's right. He has to be a tall black stallion that loves to cook, loves driving the kids to school in the morning, sterile, funny, hands-on, laughs, karaoke, smart, movie quotes, and lets you make the beds. You get that, fellas? All right.
Last time I was in a serious relationship was when I moved out here from Philly. It was a wonderful guy. I loved him. Probably the last time I was really seriously in love with someone. Call him up and tell him you have to move out here. I cannot do this long distance. I need you here. And I work in a nightclub, and there's a lot of dudes here, so you gotta get your ass out here. And he did. And I remember picking him up from the airport and him being so excited to move for me and me feeling like I was gonna die. He looked completely different to me walking out as opposed to when he came to visit. We broke up and he was shocked and so hurt and so distraught.
So let me get this right. This young man, y'all was in a relationship. This young man lived in Philly. You asked him to pack up everything and move out with you. Okay. And then you broke his heart and broke up with him. Wow. All because he didn't look the same that you thought he would look. Woo. This is some nonsense. Richie Mack, shout out to you, sir. Because I don't know how you went through all this. Lord, this don't make no sense. It don't make no sense, y'all. Okay, we about to go into it again.
22. I was seating celebrities at tables and I was dealing with big time directors that were coming to my events, and I wanted to be a part of it while I was young and not have to be held back by this great guy, but he was possessive and he didn't understand, and funny comments with, man, that guy just checked out your ass. I decided I was just going to not be in a serious relationship.
I guess the fantasy became a little more interesting than the reality. Maybe that's why my marriage didn't work. Becky says, here's this great guy that moved across the country for her. Then she changed her mind. When's the last time you were in a serious relationship, Sherry?
Last time I was in a serious relationship was about 2.5 years ago, I think. It didn't last a super long time, but.
So Sherry is about 40-ish. She didn't want to tell her real age. So she said 2 years ago, she was in a real relationship, 40-ish. Okay, let's go.
For me, several months is a super long time. I'm kind of the, what is it they call the honeymoon girl?
Honeymoon 3-month relationships.
I love the honeymoon phase in a relationship.
Where everything's perfect.
On their best behavior, super providing in the relationship. And then girls
it all up. You know, it's been 7 months with this one girl that I've been talking to off and on, and like she doesn't do any of the cute things she used to do in the beginning.
The newness, the novelty, the extra special things that you do when you first meet someone, all of a sudden everybody stops doing those things, and I wasn't really willing to go into the marriage stage. I was having too much fun.
I knew I was a lesbian my entire.
This a woman in her like late 60s talking about she knew she was having too much fun. Y'all, I can't. Here we go, y'all.
Life. Ever since I was little, I've been attracted to my best friends. I've been attracted to guys too. So I just, you know.
Okay, so this one that is talking now, she's from the LGBTQIA plus, okay, community. This one that's talking right now.
Now, of course, when you're little, you don't know you're lesbian. But ever since I was little, I was attracted to girls. I don't discriminate. I love every race, you know, almost every size, you know, height. And it's really about, you know, if they catch my eye and we have that connection, then it's all good.
I have never been involved with a woman.
I'm not attracted to a woman.
I made out with a few girls, but
I don't want to have a relationship with a woman.
I don't see myself getting that kind of fulfillment.
I definitely prefer gay women over straight women because, I mean, straight women, they're looking for all the attention and it's all about them. Ooh, I've never done this before. And you're just laying there and be like, really? When am I going to get some?
Reason why I didn't tell you about me kissing women because that was none of your damn business.
I think there's something missing for me having not, but I think having like a threesome.
She said the reason why I didn't tell you because that's none of your damn business. Listen, I'm done. It's a melanated sister. Y'all already know she said it. Hold on, y'all. Here we go.
I'm totally open to having a threesome.
The difference between having sex with a man and having sex with a woman is the difference between night and day. Having sex with a man is boring, no connection, and sex.
Okay, that's a lie. That's a lie. But we're gonna let her continue to keep doing her thing. That's a lie right there. Okay, we're gonna continue to let her speak because she had to speak her piece. This is the one that is from the LGBTQIA plus community. We're gonna let her keep, you know, cooking. She cooking.
Once I'm like, come on.
I've never actually experimented with a chick, but it's something that I thought a lot about and something that I certainly wouldn't rule out.
I've never thought about being with a woman or been with a woman.
The process of breaking a straight woman is get a couple of drinks in them. Get a couple of drinks in any girl and they're good to go.
Did she just say get a couple of drinks in any girl and they good to go? Is she lying? She ain't lying. She ain't lying. She ain't lying. Okay? That Jezebel spirit, that thought spirit is in you. Okay? You got to learn how to control that thing when y'all start drinking and doing nonsense. Okay? Here we go.
So you get a couple drinks in a straight girl, you tell her how beautiful she looks, blam.
Man, you know how much trouble a man can get in for something like that? How come it's different coming from a woman versus coming from
Richie Mack is right. Richie Mack is right. It's a double standard, baby. Because let a man say that. Let a man have said that. Charges will just be right on him just because he said it on social media. It's terrible.
Different coming from a woman versus a man because coming from a woman, it's non-threatening. You know, when a man approaches a woman, it's more like, okay, what do you want? Okay, no, you really don't have to buy me that drink. But coming from a girl, it's like, oh, thank you for complimenting me. Oh, you're kind of cool. You can stay and talk to me. And it's so not threatening and blam.
Maybe if there was a real macho woman, I mean, she'd be, you know, just, you know, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I love men. I love the touch of a man. I love the smell of a man.
I hear on that
I love
part.
the way a man looks.
For a man, it's that sense of, you know, you just feel it. See,
Raw
we get all
power,
riled
honey.
up again.
like
Isn't that nice?
I have 2 separate children's fathers.
Okay, now they dancing, y'all. They dancing. They dancing on the chair, y'all. It's too much. Hold on. So she said, now this is the one who said she wants a man that is sterile. This is a melanated woman. She says she wants a man that's sterile. She has 2 children's fathers. So 2 baby fathers. Okay. That's what she's trying to be articulate. But we, you know, I'm letting y'all know. Here we go.
They are not in the picture. They are deadbeat, dirty scoundrel, low life.
You see how she kicking the baby daddies back in. All of them are deadbeats, low lives, but you picked them, mama. Yeah, I said it. You picked them. Here we go.
Scallywags that don't take care of their kids and they need to be called out. What the hell would make somebody have a baby and not take care of it?
I don't want to be a statistic. I refuse to have the woman I love be a statistic.
I want everybody to know I've known this man since high school.
Pay all the bills and, bring home the bacon, slaughter the pig, clean up the kitchen. I got to do everything. And so I kind of view other men like...
She looked like she want to cry when she say that. But in these Instagram streets and these YouTube streets and all that, they make it seem like single mothers is like the most amazingest thing. And I was a single mother for a long time. Baby, it is hard. But y'all get out here preaching to these younger women. It's easy. You can do it. It is not. Y'all better stop lying. Here we go.
Probably a deadbeat. You don't take care of your kids. You don't do this. You don't do that. I'm sure of it, because if you did, I would see car seats in the back of your crib, and I just have that in my head that they already don't do right, and that's not fair. But it probably is the damn truth. They probably do got 3 kids stashed away that they don't take care of, and I'm just...
So she says she put in her mind that when she dates men, that they don't do right, that they got like 3 children that they don't take care of, and it's already stashed in her mind. So she has this unclean thought in her mind about men already. It's because of the pain that she went through. That trauma bonding. Shout out to Messy Michonne. That trauma bonding, baby, that is real, baby, honey. Let's go into it again.
One that's gonna call you out on it. Oops, my bad. Am I coming off as a bitter black woman?
Do I feel any pressure?
She laughing
because I'm not married yet. Well, no, my mom is fiercely independent. My mom is a physician, and she's been in the Middle East for the past 10 years. She's an American woman living in the Middle East, which shows the pedigree of badass that I come from. And I have observed marriage from so many different angles, except for being in the marriage. And it's not just the day, it's not just the presence. I love presents.
So she says her mom is a physician and she lived in the Middle East for the past 10 years. And she said, you can see from the pedigree, I come from a badass, right? So that's where she gets that from, that whole independent woman type atmosphere. We all have grown up with it, mostly melanated women who have been in a household just with their mother. So we all know that, okay? That's where we get all that macho talk from, that masculine talk, okay? And I always say alpha female, okay? But, the Real Bravado Network said I got to get that out of my vocabulary because that word is not real. We all know that. It's masculine, okay? Masculine. Here we go. We're about to go into it one more time, y'all.
Am I still single? It's absolutely 10 million % my choice. After my divorce, I didn't start dating until about a year and a half after. There was infidelity, however, I don't want to go into detail because of my children. I would say our middle child took it the worst. It really affected her. She's doing a lot better now, but it was very devastating on her. I would say a marriage is not worth holding together because of the children, but I do believe in marriage, and I think that you can get through a lot of things if you really try.
So I don't believe that. I don't believe that because y'all both made these children. You're supposed to do your best to make the marriage work. I believe that wholeheartedly because those babies didn't ask to be brought here. It's not right. It's not fair. So this is why you're supposed to vet before. And I am in strong support of vetting. Okay. And like y'all know my background. Y'all know my background. I was married before. And only 3 years the marriage lasts because I didn't do vetting. Okay. and a lot of other things came into play, which I don't blame him. I don't blame everything on him. I caused some of this foolery too. So when you get divorced, you got to be able to take accountability as well. My sisters, okay, because y'all be living in that delusion, honey. You got to take accountability as well when you F up, okay? Let's get it right. All right, so we about to go into it. Hold on, y'all.
Right? But just solely for the kids, never. If you do it for the kids, it's not happiness.
This is a picture of my husband.
Y'all got to stop that nonsense with happiness. Marriage it was never designed for happiness, okay? It was never designed for happiness. Okay? Listen, y'all got to do better. I always tell y'all, marriage comes in seasons. It goes in seasons, okay? It's going to be a joyous season. It's going to be turmoil. It's going to be war. It's going to be peace. But happiness, y'all got to get that out y'all vocabulary. That don't make no sense. Okay? Let's go.
Don Travarelli, 21, and I was 16 at the time, and it was our favorite song was Puppy Love. And I married him on my Thanksgiving vacation in high school, my senior year.
59% of marriages for women under the age of 18 end in divorce within 15 years.
Everyone said I was too young to get married, and they were right. I was too young. We divorced after 7 years. I don't know, Bandstand played Cupid, and thanks to Bandstand, I have my 2 daughters and my 4 grandchildren. My daughters are single. Angel is 48 now, and Maria is 47, and they both have had 2 married.
48 and 47, her daughters. They both have been married, okay? And they are both single, 48 and 47. I always tell y'all, these children, watch what you do. These girls, watch what you do, mama. Be mindful of the nonsense that you do. We about to go back into it.
Is that haven't worked out forever.
I never realized how much divorce can have such a negative effect on our children. What they see growing up directly affects their relationships. I found that children that come from divorced homes have twice the risk of divorce when they marry, and an even higher risk of divorce if the person they marry comes from a divorced home.
You know, he was this young, hot-tempered Italian, you know, but when you say so many things, it spoils the beauty of the relationship. You can't take them back. I don't know sometimes what's worse, when you get physically hit or those words that are said that stay with you and hurt you.
Now that I look back on it, I'm seeing how my...
Now, she's right to say that. I love that she said that part, because in marriage, coming from the man's standpoint, okay, and us, we're looking at him for leadership. When they come and be abusive, like the words that they speak from their mouth, it can cut you like a knife. And if they're physically abusive, I tell you right now, don't stay. Pass go. Don't collect no $200 or nothing, baby. Just get out of Dodge, okay? I wholeheartedly believe that. Ain't nobody supposed to be doing no nonsense to you, baby. You was already raised. Nobody's supposed to lay hands on you, honey, all right? I agree with that part. All right. And the verbal abuse, honey, you got to do better with that. You got to do better with that. That's how a lot of marriages end up in divorce. So she's right about that part.
Your marriage was immature. Otherwise, why didn't I make better choices? Why did I say hurtful things during arguments? Why weren't we both able to communicate so we could get through the challenging times that pop up in any marriage?
You grow up with the belief in love and 2 parents and the foundation. And when the divorce happens, I think it just rattles that foundation.
First of all, they're angry because their parents are not together. And then they're probably hurt because they've seen or heard some of the fighting and carrying on.
They take it 100 times worse than what we take it as adults.
Well, I have patients right now that I'm following, and they're young adults, basically depressed because their parents are going through a divorce.
It affects their whole life. It changes the course of their whole life.
My parents got a divorce when I was 10. That's a lot of responsibility for a 10-year-old to take on, dueling spouses, you know, and then you've got these kids in the middle. The hardest part for me when my parents split up was that my dad couldn't be the same person that he was to me when I was younger.
She said, my dad couldn't be the same person he was to me when I was younger. So why y'all think that? The dad was going through his heartache and pain as well. But we never mention the dad. We always just say mama went through it by herself. Mama went through the heartache and pain of the divorce. We never talk about the daddy. They have feelings too. But you know, in our culture, we don't respond to that, okay? That's the truth. I don't care if y'all mad. It's true. We don't care about the daddy. Hold on, y'all. Let's get into it.
And my mom and all of her frustration, her anger, her hurt, whatever it was, he was still my dad. And when that relationship ended, it affected everybody. And it made me sad because I felt like I had to manage those feelings with her and with my dad. And nobody won.
After being married for 7 years, we got divorced. I then went through my boy crazy phase. And I liked all the guys. I mean, I actually started.
She said after they divorced, this is an older woman. She looked like she in her 60s. She said that after her 7 years of marriage, right, she went through a boy crazy stage. Do we know anybody like that? Huh? Do we know anybody like that? When you get released from your covering, you run out like a wild cat and get that pussy to everybody. Lord, don't make no sense. Here we go. Here we go, y'all.
Collecting wine bottles and putting their names on it on my kitchen, which was like that's not good. I mean, it's like men putting notches on belts. From being married and missing that formative dating time, I was really boy crazy, and I liked them all.
Internet dating. Yeah, I've tried it. But you know, all you men y'all lying. Y'all some lying dudes, man. Lie about your height, lie about your...
She said, y'all, so she did some internet. Okay, this is the one who her mother is in the Middle East and she's a physician. So she is the one, this is a Melanie sister too. You can hear how she talks. She's a little masculine, okay? And she said, oh, y'all some lying dudes. Now, is that true? Is that true? Because, you know, some of us sisters be pulling a whole story, honey. Here we go.
Age, lie about everything. And women are confused. You know why women can't parallel park? Because we've been lied to on the internet so much, and you men have got us convinced that this is 12 inches.
That's what internet dating to me, I see it.
I've never dated online, but I think I'd be fine with that. I just have never, in all humility, I mean, it just happens. So it's not really necessary.
They'll contact me and then I'll look at their profile and then it says on there the type of woman that they're looking for and it'll put everything on there except for black. So I usually would email back and say, you know, I'd be happy to talk to you, but you know, I'm half black. So I don't know if you were interested in talking to a biracial person.
So you saying women don't lie on the internet?
There are some crazy bitches mixed up in there too. Just because my profile says that I'm 6 feet of black dynamite, gorgeous and athletic, fabulous.
She said 6 feet of dynamite. That's a tall woman, honey. That's a tall woman.
Funny sometimes and can cook. Some of my girlfriends, he's got to be 6 feet tall. He's got to have 6-figure bank account and a 6-pack. And you weigh 600 pounds.
Ooh, that's
nasty. And using my picture to catch a dude. I just want to use your picture just so the guy will call me. You know, once he finds out what kind of personality I have, once he finds out that you can't move, we got to get a crane to come get your fat ass.
She's speaking facts, though.
You know, that was my plan at the beginning. Like when I was still a virgin, we were looking into selling my virginity.
Selling your virginity. Woo.
So I was really, really looking into it. So There was this girl apparently came out on Tyra Banks.
sense.
She was selling her virginity, and she even actually got like $250,000 from a man that was in a pair, like $1 million.
Oh my
And then at the end, it didn't even end up coming through, and he let her keep the money. I had my sister, I told her, you'll be my manager. Like, you get me to sell my virginity. And
she said, my sister will be my manager. Oh my goodness. They got their whole game set up. Lord, this don't make no sense.
And I'll give you like 10, 20%. I don't know what I have told her. So she was contacting like a bunny ranch, and so I could sell my virginity, like do it through them, because over there it's legal, you know, to sell sex, whatever, it's prostitute, whatever you want to call it. I don't call it prostitute, it's business, baby.
How old were you when you lost your virginity?
She said it's business, baby. Well, you know, some of y'all OnlyFans, that's what y'all be saying too, is business, baby. Yeah. And then y'all be wanting to y'all want somebody to marry you after you done had 2K in the body count. Yes, I'm talking to you. 2K in the body count, baby. But you want somebody to marry that. Oh, Lord.
Was 14 when I lost my virginity.
How did it happen?
Oof. Well, in my own bedroom, in my own house. And I can't quite still figure it out.
How old was I with a guy or a girl?
Did the other girls answer that?
My first time having sex was good. The second time was off the chain.
The first time I lost my virginity with a man was absolutely horrible.
I am very afraid of the STD factor.
It was, boy, how do I even describe it?
I know that a lot of people in the city are players, and I don't even want to go there. That makes me think twice, and has kept me from, heeding my body signals. I'm like, the.
So I believe Megan is the one who is the virgin. Okay, she's a virgin, y'all. And she's 30. Okay. So this is why you hear her saying she's scared of the STD factors and stuff like that. But we're gonna keep going, y'all.
The brain overrules the crotch, in my case, always.
I'm at a loss for words.
Oh, well, that's a nice, fine specimen, but it could be tainted.
It was just so bad. It was terrible. Like, I just thought to myself, is this it? Like, this is what everyone's been making such a big deal about? That was it. I'm like, I am gay.
Now, this one who's talking is from the LGBTQIA+. Okay, she talking about the first time she has had relations with a man, and she said it's horrible. And she said that's when she knew in her mind that she loved women. Here we go.
I was holding out for the real thing, all right? Meaning a certain rock star that I had on my wall. But anyway, he was going to be my first. Turns out I couldn't wait.
My first encounter with a woman was actually playing a game of truth or dare. I hadn't kissed a girl before, and my best friend knew that. So he dared me to kiss this other girl that was there, and I did, and it was all over.
I, again, have been a little bit tainted sexually by what I witnessed. I don't know if you're familiar with David Carradine and how David Carradine kicked it, but my dad did it the same way. It's autoerotic asphyxiation. And I found him, and I was 5, and that's a very impressionable age, and it sort of put sexuality in a bad light, and that sort of stayed with me. So I might be LA's oldest virgin at 30.
Wow.
My last romantic relationship was in 2010. He's probably one of the...
And she's 45 years old. Her last relationship, okay? 2010, y'all.
Smartest people I ever met, but he was so mean. I was like so profoundly grateful that some man was showing me interest, that I lost myself, my personality, my self-worth, my values, and everything for that. I put up that wall. I said that will never happen again.
So many people think that I've waited because of marriage or because I'm saving myself for Jesus. Neither of those have factored into my decision. I just don't place a huge amount of value on the institution of marriage. I mean, I think it's a great celebration, a great excuse for cake and a pretty dress. But to me, I don't know, the ceremony, so many end in divorce. I think if I found a soulmate, I don't need all that jazz to make it known. I just want to be with them.
The hardest thing about being single, I have to say that I haven't desired anybody to be settled down with or to have that togetherness with. And so it's not hard.
Divorce rate in the U.S. is 49%, y'all. 49%. But we out here giving that pussy willy-nilly, honey. We out there just spreading the love to everybody. 49%, y'all.
As is commonly known, divorce separates the children from the parents, mostly from the father.
And my mama did her best, but she not no man to, and I'm so scared for my kids to go through that. They don't have no daddy. I don't want
She crying.
And I don't want to settle though just
feels.
because I want to have a man around for them. I want a good man, and if I can't have no good man, then I just be by myself, and that's why I'm still single.
She said that's
I
why
want
I'm
to
still
marry
single.
a man that's like my dad.
Now this one says she want to marry a man just like her dad. Her dad must have was a good man, and she's crying too. Oh, he passed on to glory, y'all.
He is a good guy. Just like always looking out for his daughters, and he was just such a good. My dad would just take care of stuff, nothing he couldn't fix, nothing my dad couldn't do. Super smart guy. That's the same thing I'm looking for.
I didn't feel like he was there for me very much. He was working a lot. He remarried, so he was gone a lot.
On the 4th of July, we have no family here. My only uncle and aunt and my cousins are over 4th of July. My dad decides to make a big old drama.
Bottles and dishes flying.
Break the mirror in the room. Throw things
from one end of the dining room to the other and
go crazy.
Me ducking.
I could never let my girls go through the same thing that I went through, of feeling like they hated to come home and had nowhere to go.
Some girls without fathers seek male attention to fill a void in their lives.
Now, what Richie Mack just said, a lot of women seek male attention to cover up that void in their life. He's right. That's why we have a crazy fluctuation of OnlyFans. We have all these women all on social media that they half naked and they get all these likes and views and people follow them. It's because they got daddy issues, which we already know that. But is that an excuse to come to social media naked, got your butt and your breast hanging out, and you selling that for JJ? You know what I'm saying? Is that an excuse? I'm talking to you, the one who up here talking about you got 2K in body count and men who are not police, that are police officers and firemen and work for the post office and work for the garbage company and work for the city, that they not high value men. Baby, go sit down. You sold that pussy, go sit down. You not a high value woman. Y'all get that so confused. Y'all always think a high value man is money. Nonsense. Here we go. Let's go back into it.
Other figure wasn't there, and not that mine was completely not there, but he wasn't really present, and he didn't have a lot of emotional support to give, and it was always just financial, and here and there was very superficial.
My relationship with my dad is not very good right now. He's on a timeout because he's very verbally, emotionally, mentally abusive to everybody.
I don't know my father. I never met my father.
Well, he left us when I was 12. He did a number on me.
I felt just mistreated.
Did you have a father in the house?
No, I don't know. Who the hell has a father? My earliest memory of him besides.
She said, who the hell has a father in the house? Most of these women, okay, didn't grow up with their fathers in the house. I think maybe two or three had it. But the rest of them, because he said he interviewed 11. So the rest of them didn't have their daddy growing up. Okay, so this is where we get all these daddy issues at. They running around here half naked. Daddies are important, but y'all younger generation. Well, I can't say younger generation because this nonsense started since the late 60s and 70s. Okay, and then it just trickled on down with all this foolery we got going on now.
him strangling my mom was him knocking me out. And I was in a playpen and boom, that was it. You know, in front of my mom, he'd act like he liked me, but he was a sad, sad, sad person. You know, I was just a little baby. I mean, how hard is it to love a little baby?
My father and I fell out about 5 years.
So the woman that is 60 something years old, she said that her father knocked her out inside her playpen. I'm gonna share with y'all something. I'm just saying a little something. More than likely, he wasn't the father of that little girl. Mm-hmm. Y'all heard what Tyler Perry said, right? How his father used to abuse him and mistreat him and stuff. And then he didn't find out that the man who been raising him, he found out when he was in his what? He just found out. He just found out that man that he thought was his daddy wasn't his daddy. And they said when Tyler Perry's sisters was growing up, the father was fine because the father knew that Tyler was not his. So that's where all the drinking and all that stuff come in. But you know, back in the day, you had to stick together, and nobody was supposed to know your secret. Okay, we're gonna call a spade a spade. Some of our melanated sisters was doing foolery back in the day, but you know they ain't have Dana like they do now. So that my brothers, there's no excuse, baby. Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, honey, they got them tests right on the shelf, honey. Ain't cost you about maybe $100 or something dollars. You better write it off in your taxes. Get those DNA tests done, honey. We about to go back into it again, y'all. Here we go.
Back over my oldest daughter. I was in the shower. She came banging on the door. She was 2, screaming, crying. I'm like, what's wrong? And he chasing her around the house, yelling at her like, what is going on? So I get out the shower like, what's going on? He's like, oh, she almost knocked the baby down. I'm like, she's 2. Talk to her like a 2-year-old. Don't, chase her and terrorize her. So it's not my house. Got in my face. I said, oh, okay. So I removed myself and my children from the situation. I ain't talked to him since because I need to stay out of unhealthy relationships, even if it is with your daddy.
The divorce rate for fatherless daughters is 92% higher and 32% higher for fatherless sons.
That's probably what's wrong with me now. I can't pick no man right because I don't have a foundation of a man telling me I'm beautiful coming up and telling me how my worth and telling me to save myself for marriage. I didn't have that.
Research shows that girls and young women who have an unstable father figure.
Now, what she just said about her father, she didn't have anybody tell her how beautiful she is, how wonderful she is when she was growing up. This is true. I had the same thing because, I told y'all I come from a side chick, okay? My mama was a side chick to my daddy. My daddy raised his other children, but I was a side chick baby. So I didn't get the advantage of being told I'm beautiful, being told that I'm a beautiful woman, I'm kind, I'm sweet, caring young woman. I didn't get that. You know when I got that? From my king. From my king. When I met him, it changed my perspective. So this is why you always hear me talk about him and how much I honor him. Yeah. It takes a toll on you when you have daddy issues. I'm speaking facts. Okay? I'm speaking facts, honey. So she's right. Here we go. We about to go into it again, y'all.
More liable to unplanned pregnancy, low self-esteem,
high school and college dropout, poverty, divorce, and sexually promiscuous behavior.
Facts.
My daddy loved me, and he told me I was beautiful and that I was smart, and he made sure that I was smart. He didn't just fill up and say, you're my princess, and made it empty.
Yeah, I came from a really strong father figure.
My mom and dad rocked. My folks, they did a great job.
My mom and dad have been married 50 years, and I love that about him.
So only three, like I told y'all, they said they daddies rocked. Only 3. Here we go, y'all.
He treats people really good, and I respect him.
My folks made sure that I could back it up because I'm already freakishly tall, and I've been this height since I was 12 years old. So when you're this tall and you have a deep voice and you're in an all-white neighborhood and you are the black kid, you better have some confidence. I'm already at a disadvantage when I walk into the room because they've already got their preconceived notions about me. So I come with a lot, and I expect a lot of a guy because it's everything that I expect in myself.
Everybody needs a father. It's crucial, especially for girls, but boys too. But if you don't have that father.
Did she just say everybody needs a father? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Everybody needs a father. I got to say it with my eyes because y'all just be doing foolery. Everybody needs a father.
Foundation, you're gonna have a lot of more issues in life with your esteem.
My daddy told me that I don't have to go running after a dude. I don't have to go crying. I don't have to go begging. He raised a lady.
As far as my two girls growing up without a father, I try my best not to badmouth anybody in front of them, but I do not.
She's lying about that part. She lying about that part because if she was easy, if it was easy for her to disgrace those baby daddies in front of Richie Mack, she talk about they daddies like a dog in front of them. And maybe she don't mean to, but it comes out. She lying about this part right here. I could just feel it. She lying. Hold on, y'all.
I want them growing up and being bitter, resentful Black women. I want them to be strong and independent and colorless when it comes to love. I do want them to stay with a Black man, though, if possible. But I definitely don't want to rub up none of my insecurities and my baggage on them. But I don't know how to not do that.
I'm confident I can fix practically any freaking thing. I can cook, and I can probably kick your ass.
Okay, she told Ricky Mack. She said, she told him, I'm sorry. She said Richie Mack. She said to Richie Mack she could probably kick his ass. You heard that right. Lord, this don't make no sense. Oh my goodness, I have to. Lord, let's go. He looking at her.
So I think that I'm pretty well equipped with like the whole thing. All the guy needs to do is show up with his penis and pay for all this stuff.
Statistics show that college-educated women are more likely to marry than non-college-educated women.
The clubbing is horrible.
Do I go clubbing? Never.
Even guys have this thing about meeting their future wife at a club.
Do I go to clubs? I'd like to. I feel kind of old.
I love clubbing. I went to Studio 54.
I like what she said. She said, I love clubbing, but I'm kind of old. At least she understands that she ain't supposed to be in the club. Y'all ones who getting up here and they 50-something talking about hot girl summer, y'all need to go sit down. The delusion is real, baby. Oh, this, first of all, let me just give another shout out to Richie Mack. This is amazing, sir. This video is amazing. Okay, let's go back into it.
You have sex inside the club.
It's fun and it's nice to go back in and see what I once was a part of, but it's a whole new breed of people, and it's circulating, and it's just like you really feel ego and you really feel that dark side of what exists in the world, and especially in relationships, and it's there. And I challenge myself to go every so often. I might go tonight.
I got 3 kids. I don't be going to nobody damn nightclub.
Facts.
Yeah, no, I haven't been to a nightclub in a minute. The last time I think I did go to a nightclub, I was like 38 weeks pregnant, and they didn't want to let me in. I was like, excuse me, this is a tumor. You don't know what is going on. So they let me in and have fun, but still.
A new development that I'm not gonna get overly excited about because I tend to self-sabotage when I get too overly optimistic, and I just want things to evolve organically, naturally, and I just don't want to put any pressure on him or me. So things are new, things are good, and I just want to take things as they come.
Still single. Still single.
What do men get wrong about women?
What do men get wrong about women?
So now he's talking to the one that is from the LGBTQIA+. Okay, he's asking her this question, y'all.
Men get wrong about women that they need to be taken care of, they need to be rescued, and they always need to have an answer.
A guy could be with a lot of girls. He's a player. A girl's gonna be with a lot of guys. She's a hoe. So like low pro hoe.
I can do this thing with my feet.
Stop with your facial expressions back there.
I'm doing the facial expressions
long,
too.
we joke and call them finger toes because they're not ugly. They're really cute, but they're just kind of a little bit longer than most. So my girlfriends call them finger toes. And so, but anyway, so they can kind of do stuff, and it's kind of fun to do with your feet because no one ever expects it.
How many men have I been with? Well, I never really wanted to keep account. I mean, it was like embarrassing. It's a lot. It's a lot because you got to figure. I went through the flower child. I was hippie, almost went to Woodstock. Plus, I come from Catholic school. You can't be counting them. Then you have to go to confession.
What's in a?
She said, now this is the one in her 60s. She said you can't be counting them because you have to go to confession. Lord. You still supposed to go to confession. Yes, you still supposed to go. Mm-hmm.
For one thing women want in the bedroom.
You know what? If I were to invent, though, if I were to be an inventor, I would have like a sexual toy that's also a GPS device. That, you know, like if the dude gets like in the wrong area of you, be like recalculating, and it'll just tell a dude exactly where to go. That's what's up.
The number one thing that women I feel want in the bedroom is stamina. How long can you last? Please don't just be out in 2 minutes, 7 minutes,
How long
12
can
minutes.
you last?
That leaves me out. I'm done.
Oh God, why? And then you're so selfish you can't come back with it with round 2. Are you kidding me? And then when it's time to nudge and come on for round 2, like for real? Okay, that's so selfish. I don't like that. That's probably the number one problem, I think.
I'm going to share with you a lot of things that we mess up as women when we having relations. If you don't know how to move that bottom, honey, while you laying down, you ain't going to get no sensation. And I'm going to share something else with you. When these men are on top, okay, this is exercise. They put some work into it, okay? So 2 minutes of thrusting, some of y'all can't even do that. So while he working the top, you work your bottom, okay? That is the magic, okay? You work your bottom. Take heed to the message for that little trick right there.
Yeah, you laughing, okay? You single too, ain't you?
I know exactly what it is. For a guy to take his time to please a girl first, because we take longer, it's harder for us to get there. So they just want to go in and eat and that's it, it's over.
Now, she said it's harder for women to get there, and I'm going to share with you a trick, okay? Once you have it in your mind, replay in your mind how the last time he had you. I tell everybody this on my channel. Replay in your mind how he had you flipped, flying from the chandelier in the kitchen, on the side, you flipped over on the chair. Imagine that. Okay, just imagine the time he had you crawling at the top of the bed. And long as you were playing in your mind, my dear, all the water rain will come down. Okay, play it in your mind, honey. This is the thing y'all miss. This is why when y'all say he 2-minute brother, y'all ain't get there yet because you didn't put it in your mind. Okay, once you put it in your mind, honey, rain will fall. Okay, take heed to the message.
So tired of that.
If I'm in a relationship, I want it a lot. I want it all the time, but I never get it. So that's why I don't have sex for comfort. So I have food for comfort.
My son is so brilliant.
Now that's the big girl. She said, I don't have sex for comfort. I use food for comfort. She's right. Women do that. They do. It's true.
He speaks Mandarin. He is just on the ball. I got him in college bound Saturday school. They got iPads. They are finna be something. Sorry that I done picked these sorry mother. Excuse me.
She said, I'm sorry I done picked these sorry mother. You know, she talking about the baby daddies. Yeah, I know she talking around those children like that. If she talking to Richie Mack like this, she talking about those baby daddies like that in front of those kids too. Okay? Take heed to the message. Let's go, y'all.
No,
that's not funny.
It's not
real.
It's not funny.
I want to laugh it off because deep down it hurts me to the core of my soul, and I feel like it's my fault because I didn't do one lay down with you and had these kids.
It's your fault. No,
it is.
Don't
so
say I feel like
trifling.
it. No, it's
That's
your
the good
fault.
word.
Marriage to me is like a whole other journey, but now you just have somebody to share this journey with. Your best friend is what you hope to marry.
We were married for nearly 9 years, and we separated at 8. So the way it starts out, for the first couple of years, there was nothing. There would be really heated arguments. You know how a family argues, and a lot of maybe verbal abuse, name calling, you good for nothing, that kind of stuff, and you're nothing kind of stuff. And then maybe I think it was a couple of years into the marriage, the first time he put his hands on me, it was the choking episode. So he kind of picked me up by the neck and trying to kiss the wall and just choke, which is a horrible, horrible feeling. After that, after the first time, you're kind of stunned. My husband, abused me, so I was actually going to leave. But the next morning, as I'm trying to drive, he's out in the street on one knee crying, "I'm so sorry, I was drunk. This is what really happened." And you're thinking to yourself, well, he was drunk. He's in front of everybody crying not to leave him. It's not going to happen again. 6, 7 months later, it's a slap or definitely a push.
I'm going to share something with you. And a lot of people might not agree with me on this one. But the first hit, baby, go. Because it's going to turn into something else. The first hit, baby, go. Yeah. Don't put it with that. Men too. Listen, the first hit, go. It's not going to be pretty after that. It's not going to be pretty no more. The first hit, go. I'm talking to male and female. You feel me? That's what I'm talking about. Take heed to the message.
And then another slap, and it was always right here because I had to go to work. So I was always open-handed, right here or right here.
My stepfather was physically abusive, welts all over my legs, abusive with a capital A. My father was sexually abusive also.
I wasn't that young. I was probably...
So the older woman at 60 something, okay, her father, her birth father was sexually abusive. Okay, so that means she was touched. And her stepfather was physically abusive. You already know, okay? You already know. That's why you have to be mindful of who you have children with. You have to be mindful of who you bring into your household. Let's go into it.
Like 7.
But I learned about it as a teenager because I always thought somebody had murdered him, because that was so much less shameful. Why else would there be a bag on somebody's head? He'd been...
Bitch, you're not taking my kids. I don't know what got into me, but I leaned over and said, yes, I am.
He would tell me, like, well, let me check you down there because you might have something that...
Okay, this one said that I'm not sure if it's her father, but she said he would tell her, let me check you down there. I want to see if somebody did something. Now, if that happens, it's not supposed to be a man, okay? Mothers, listen, use the bath method, okay? Use the bath method on these young children. If they can't sit in the tub and they start touching their private like that, this is the time to take them to the hospital. You hear me? This is the time. Talk to them. Open up the doors of communication, okay? And somebody didn't come and communicate this with this young woman. All right, let's go into it.
May affect you or hurt your health or something might be wrong, So, I don't know, I guess I just trusted. I didn't think, like, my parents never taught me, like,
She said her parents never taught her. So that means that this is probably somebody in her family who asked her to pull her pants down and check her and all this other nonsense that they call themselves pulling the wool over her eyes, okay? Because the parents had never taught her that nobody's supposed to do this. So she didn't know, and she was young at the time, okay? So this is on the parents, y'all. We got to learn how to teach these children, even boys and girls, okay? She's crying.
Like, my parents never taught me, like, or me or my sisters, like, you know, your private parts and, you know, the whole respect your body and this is gonna happen. You're gonna grow.
She's crying. She's in
I had my
pain.
sister, I told her, you'll be my manager. Like, you get me to sell my virginity?
Nobody should find their loved ones in that state. And especially my mom. I know it's why she's never remarried and has never looked at another man, because the one she thought she knew the best, she didn't know at all. It's not her fault that she didn't satisfy, those types of desires. And, come to find out, he had so many problems because he was molested.
And I can't quite still figure it out. My mother and my stepfather.
So the young one who just finished talking, her father deleted himself, okay, because of a sexual desires. You know how they be trying to like smother themselves and stuff, and all these whips and everything hanging from the ceiling or whatever. And so they caught him. The young girl, when she was small, she saw her dad, and he had deleted himself by accident, and she found him laying there unconscious. Okay, and she said that's why she think her mother never married again, because she thought she knew the man she married the first time, because he had some erotic sexual desires that she was not able to please him. Okay, so you know he did some things that he liked, and he deleted himself in the process. Okay, y'all, so let's go back.
We're in the other room. Danny and I, he was 21 and don't even understand why they let me go with him. We would fall asleep when we were watching TV, and my mom came in. She's funny. She said, "You shouldn't be sleeping on the floor like that. Go sleep in your bed." Wow. So I did, and that's where it happened. And the only thing I can kind of figure out is because she knew about my stepfather being so bad, that he was a man and he would take care of me. That's the only thing I can fathom as to why she would have let me stay with Danny.
We used to live like in the back house, like it was a garage, but it got turned into a house. And then there used to be two front houses, and the house in the middle, like they used to live this man, and he was like friendly person. Like we were there for 5 years. There was a gang of little kids all over the block. Everybody used to hang out with him. Like everybody was cool with him. And then things happened.
This is why you have to watch your children around people in your block, in your area. Just because they seem nice and want to always give your kids stuff, y'all have to be mindful. Stop letting these children go to everybody's house. Stop letting them rock with everybody in your family. Ask some questions. Stop letting them spend a night. Just because somebody seem like they nice ain't always nice. Look at this young girl crying and everything.
All right, let's turn the cameras off. You okay?
The owner of all the houses, he used to serve food, goat meat at like parties. He was like, "You want to work?" So he picked me up, and I went into the back of the van, and he was driving, and I sat like in the back of the passenger. So I didn't even notice it was in the passenger seat like this whole time. And then it wasn't, I believe, till we got off. Or maybe I noticed inside the truck when we were barely on our way that it was him. And I was like, oh my God. And I didn't know what to do. And I remember thinking, like, should I grab a knife and stab him? Should I kill him? Should I jump out of the truck? I think what was more hurtful was that the man that asked me to, like, go help him, like, he knew everything that was going on. He knew, like, I wasn't the only victim. There was other victims. Like, he knew everything that was going on. So why is he even working with him? Why is he even with him? Like, is he one of his?
How come he was never arrested?
It's because people don't report it.
1 in 4 girls.
Now, Richie Mack asked why he was never arrested. She said because people don't report it. It's true. It's true. Especially if they're close family or they know them and they act like they family. And so when the child tell, they always get them that stupid nonsense that they used to give us back in the day. Whatever goes on in my house, stay in my house. That foolery they used to teach us when we were young. Here we go again.
And 1 in 6 boys have been molested by age 18.
He didn't rape me, but like he used to touch me and lick at me down there.
The R word.
So when I went to go tell my parents, like they were like, "Where did he touch you? Show me." And like in my mind, it was just like, "Really? You want me to take off my pants and show you?" Like he wasn't understanding that it was just like a tough situation. Like I didn't know what was going on. Like I didn't know what was happening or not, and like he wasn't approaching like the situation as you're my daughter, I have to protect you, I need to talk to you about it. He didn't understand what was going on in my mind, in my head, like how I was feeling, as a kid. Like I was scared, I didn't know. So
it's a sick cycle and it has to end somewhere. And it was going to end with me. I was never going to look at a man sexually because it was so sick and wrong. And I was disgusted by men for so long. How could I ever love one?
I was actually
And she was disgusted by men for so long because she saw her father, okay? Her father deleted himself because of a sexual addiction. He had a fetish. So that's why she said she believed that having sexual relations was so evil and nasty, because she saw her daddy delete himself doing a sexual fetish, okay? Y'all, here we go.
Pray, because he would be like, "I'm gonna take the kids if you leave me because you're never there, and that the court's gonna give them to me. Or you're a doctor, I'm not a doctor. You take them, I'm gonna take half your salary and take the kids." So I was like fearful to leave my husband at that time. But then it got so bad, I said to myself, I don't care what it takes, I'll pay whatever. I gotta get out of here. And I see abused women in my clinic. Here I am going through it and not telling anyone.
He hung the moon. He really was 10 feet tall in my eyes because he was 6'6". He was a giant. He was larger than life. And he had all the answers. He was going to make everything okay. And none of that ended up happening, which is why I don't put my faith in any man.
The outside.
So she says she don't put her faith in any man because, she's the one who found her father, that he had deleted himself for that sexual fetish. So she has a lot of issues and she has to work through those issues. When we have daddy issues, we go through a lot. We go through a lot. And we don't see any good in any man. It takes a special one to come along to help you out. Okay? But you got to do the work. You can't just say all men are evil. You tired of men. You can't stand men. You got to do the work, my sisters. Let's go into it, y'all. Almost done.
It doesn't seem to mean as much to me anymore as the inside. Because I see real handsomeness and real strength and all that in the way a man conducts himself. A man's man. You just know it. Because it's not that important when you're holding somebody's hand and you're in bed. If they get off that bed, you may not be safe. I haven't seen a man on my bed, let alone a black man. That's 10 years, you better be careful. This woman's ready to strike.
This older woman, terrible, Lord. Terrible.
Christmas time. As my journey to try and understand women comes to an end, I can't help but think about how blessed I am to experience the lives of these women. And when you're single on the holidays.
So we're done with Richie Mack. We're done with his video. I'm about to close out. Y'all know I don't really take my videos long, but I needed to hear this. Richie Mack, your content is amazing, sir. You are a scholar and a gentleman, and I loved it. Okay, I watched the whole video myself, but I loved it, and I shared the content with all my followers as well. But I want to share something else with y'all before I close out. Having daddy issues is painful, honey. Y'all got to work through these things. Go see somebody, talk to somebody, even if you have to make amends with your father or tell him how you feel. You got to do something. And if he's not here anymore and he went on to glory, baby, you got to work through those issues with a therapist or something. Just because you have daddy issues does not mean that your life is over. It doesn't mean that you can never be loved. You just have to work harder at it. That's all. You just got to work harder at it. We are not meant to be alone. God did not put us here to be alone. He didn't put us here to be baby mamas either. He didn't put us here to be thoughts. Okay? He didn't put us here to be chicken ho-hos. Okay? Listen, listen. Y'all older ones that's preaching this nonsense to the younger generation, y'all wrong for this. Teaching them all types of foolery that they don't need no man. So now, when they get as old as you, they wish they didn't even get that advice from you in the first place. Y'all take heed to the message. Everybody have a wonderful day. And I will see y'all tomorrow with our regular live. All right. Take heed to the message. Everybody, take it easy. Shout out to Richie Mack. Okay. Shout out to Gail at Night. My sister, thank you so much. And you have a great one, Richie Mack, scholar and a gentleman. Have a great night, y'all.